Hey Grace fam, my name is Laura Kral. I am on staff here at Grace as part of the children's ministry team, specifically dealing with nursery and preschool. So I miss you, I miss your kids, I miss your babies. So it's always fun to get on here and to chat. So I wanted to talk today about humility and how humility or lack of humility really affects our relationship with Jesus. So there are multiple verses in the Bible that talk about being humble, but the one that is sticking with me this morning is 1 Peter 5:6, which says, "Humble yourselves therefore under God's mighty hand, that he may lift you up in due time." So the verse sticks with me because if we're all honest with ourselves, we desire to be exalted. We want other people to see us. We want to be known, to be loved, and then to be lifted up. I think it's a desire we all have, and I don't think that that's necessarily a wrong desire. But if we aren't living in biblical humility, it can take us down roads that God doesn't want us to be on. So if I Google humility, the definition is a modest or a low view of one's own importance. And I think that while that definition could be looked at as weakness, so while secular humility, can be viewed as weakness, really biblical humility is allowing our strength and our power to be under God's control. So it's having an accurate view of your strengths, your gifts, your power, but using them under God's leadership. It's important because, and I'm preaching to myself, it's important because you will not receive the fullness of God and all that he has for you if you believe that your ways are better than his. And a lot of times we might not even realize that we think that our ways are better than his. So for me, what kind of plays through my mind sometimes is, God might be calling me to start a small group for women, but I don't have the time or the availability or whatever. I could list a million reasons why my brain will tell me that that's not going to happen. Or it could maybe look, for somebody else, it could look like them feeling like God's asking them to slow down, but still wanting to add activity after activity to keep themselves busy. That's just another example. So what I want to challenge you to think about is, if God's asking you to do something, however hard, it is likely that you can't do it in your own strength and power. But thankfully, God equips us to do these things. 1 Corinthians 12 says that God empowers us and gives us his spirit in the activities he calls us to and the gifts he has given to us. And he also tells us, Paul also tells us in 2 Corinthians 12:9, he said to me, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly of my weaknesses, so that the power of Christ may rest upon me." So bringing this back to 1 Peter, the verse affirms our desire to be lifted up and assures us that God will do this, but in his time. And his timing is always, 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 always better than our timing. Because really, God exists outside of time. He created time, so he sees the whole picture. So of course his timing is better than ours. But again, we won't get that full benefit unless we allow our strength and power to be under God's control. So that's what I got for you this morning. I hope it was encouraging to your heart. I love you guys. I miss you guys. Take care.